Good morning. It's Wednesday, and that means that it is time for Brain and Balance with me. My name is Hannah, and I am a senior fitness instructor with Stonebridge Community Services. So, welcome to this class, a little different from usual. We don't need any equipment today, you just need yourself and a place to sit. Quite a bit of our class will be seated, the brain section, and then the balance part will be on feet. And for that, you'll need some support furniture. So the back of the chair is perfect. The sun is shining right in behind my head. The back of the chair, a wall, table, the kitchen counter, the island, anything like that. I always like to have my water handy because I talk a lot. But yeah, feel free to have drinks through the class. What else did I want to say? Any feedback is greatly appreciated. Have a look in the chat for the email address that you can send your feedback to. Would love to hear what you think about the class. That's it. I think you don't need anything, just yourselves, a chair, a place to stand where you can support yourself when we're working on our balance. And we'll sit for a moment here before we warm up while I do my little intro spiel. So last week we talked about all of the main things that we can do to promote our good brain health as we age. And to recap, those main things were exercise, sleep, socialness, social interaction, and nutrition. And the one that we haven't really talked about very much is nutrition. So we'll dig into that a little bit today. Just very briefly, we could talk for literally hours about nutrition, but we'll just keep this very easy. And then we'll, I did a little work in looking at some specific foods that can really help your brain. But overall, we want to think about a very balanced diet. It's really important that we maintain adequate calories as we age. Your appetite might be smaller, maybe you're a little bit less active, but we still need to keep enough calories to keep our body working at its best. And that usually means 3 balanced meals a day. Or if you're a person who kind of struggles with that, maybe your appetite isn't huge, more frequent, smaller meals can be a way to get in all those good calories. And we want to make sure that we're prioritizing a variety of fruit and veggies. Eating seasonally is really nice if you can, but we're super lucky that we can have strawberries all year round and watermelon whenever our hearts desire. So yeah, eating seasonally is a nice idea, but really the things you like, and trying to have a variety. So I've heard a number that you should have like 30 different kinds of fruit and veg per week. So mushrooms is 1, bananas is 2, strawberries is 3, so getting up to 30. And it's interesting to try and do that, or to look at the day and count all the different kinds, all the individual kinds of fruit and veg you have, and see what number you come up with. And 30 is actually not as terrible as to get to as you think. So yeah, a variety of fruit and veg, and we want to kind of give that priority. We need the recommendation is 7 servings of fruit and veggies per day. Now, all of my information about servings and etc. comes from Canada's Food Guide. So definitely give them a search online and check that out for a little bit more in-depth information. Like I said, we're just going through this really quickly, but 7 servings of fruit or veg per day, as per Canada's Food Guide. We also want those meals to include lean proteins, so turkey, fish, chicken. Red meat is not bad for you. You don't want that to be your main source of protein, but for sure red meat has lots of benefits too. And then meat alternatives for protein are great as well. Healthy fats, and that would include your dairy products there. So it's always recommended that you have low-fat dairy, which I personally don't agree with, because I think that fats, or I know that fats are really important for your body. Obviously, we don't want to be piling on the cheese onto every single meal, but that being said, cheese as a garnish can be enjoyable at times. You just don't want it to be, the main focus of the dinner. As much as that sounds delicious. So healthy fat, which includes your dairy products, things like avocado, olive oil, those things are really beneficial. Lots of fat is really good for your brain. And then whole grain carbohydrates. So I always try, when I'm buying pasta, I don't shy away from pasta, because carbohydrates are our body's preferred source of fuel, but always try and look for the whole grain. And sometimes they are a little bit more expensive, but I like to feel that my cost for nutrition is probably better. So if it's a little bit more nutritious, if it fills you up for longer, if it's a bit more expensive, and it's generally better for you, I kind of justify it that way. So those whole wheat carbohydrates, and foods that are high in fiber too, to help our digestion be really regular. So I said a lot and not a very good or clear sentence then. So our balanced meals include fruits and veggies, lean protein, healthy fats, whole wheat carbohydrates, and looking for fiber as well. So let's think about some foods that are specific foods that are good for brain health. That's not to say you have to eat all of these every single day, but it's interesting to think about some foods that are really focused on our brain. So broccoli is one. It's really high in vitamin K, which is good for a formation of a specific lipid, so a specific fat in your brain. Oily fish, which is high in omega-3s. Again, those essential fats. And omega-3s help our brains to make new cells and to make new nerve cells. Blueberries are really high in antioxidants, which helps communication between our brain cells. And turmeric, which increases our serotonin and our dopamine levels, and those are our good mood boosters. And then pumpkin seeds are really high in magnesium, zinc, iron, and copper. And zinc, as a bonus, is really good for your immune system. So those are a few things that you can maybe try and add. They're healthy in lots of different ways, but also can really help your brain health. So broccoli, oily fish, blueberries, turmeric, pumpkin seeds, things like that. If you wonder, like, how on earth am I going to eat pumpkin seeds, because who sits and eats them? And when we say pumpkin seeds, probably mean the raw kind, not the kind that are coated in a bunch of different flavors or salted. I like to sprinkle mine on oatmeal. If I make bread, I like to put them in the bread, although I have one child who doesn't like to eat any bread that has seeds in it, so we have to kind of work around that. But yeah, no one's going to sit down and eat a cup of pumpkins. I mean, maybe you would, but it's unlikely. So adding them into things that you already eat. If you eat a bowl of granola for your breakfast, for example, maybe you can add your pumpkin seeds in there. Just pumpkin seeds are not the be all and end all, but just as an example. All right, I've talked enough. I'm going to have a quick drink. We're going to stand up and warm up. So let's stand up on our feet. We're going to get our body. Oh, somebody's trying to come into the room. Well, welcome. 7 of you. That's lots for a Wednesday. All right, let's stand up nice and tall. March on the spot here. We'll let those arms move forwards and backwards. Shoulders are relaxed. Picking those feet up. Let's take a nice deep breath. Big inhale. And exhale. Slowly lower down. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. And exhale. Good. One more time. Big breath in. And out. Great. Let's pull the shoulders up towards our ears. Slowly relax them down. And again, lift shoulders up and down. Lift and lower, and once more, lift those shoulders up and lower down. Let's roll those shoulders, nice big circles. Great, and let's roll those shoulders forwards, again, big circles. And let's take those arms out to the side. Again, moving those arms in little circles. Forwards to begin with. And then backwards. Good, let's take those hands, push away from your body, pull those hands back. Push, and push, and pull. Push, and pull, and again, push those hands away, pull those hands back. Let's take up one hand, and then the other to the ceiling. Slowly lower down, lift up one hand, the other, lower down slowly. 1 and 2. Good. 1 and 2. And let's look in the other direction. Oh, not in the other direction. I want to do both hands at the same time. Good. Lift up both hands. Lower down. And again, both hands up. And lower down. Good. Let's have hands on our hips. Feet hip width apart. And we'll circle those hips nice and slowly here. Good. Nice deep breaths. Back in the other direction. Perfect. Let's take one foot. We're going to tap our toe and our heel. Toe and heel. Let's move our arms at the same time. Pick those hands up. Standing up nice and tall. Keep that chest tall here. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, and heel. And let's switch to the other foot. Tap your toe, tap your heel. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Couple more. Excellent. And we're going to tap our toes. Heel touching the floor. Tap those toes. And we can wiggle those fingers. So starting to warm up those hands. Good, and let's tap those heels. Keeping toes on the floor. And let's circle those heels, circle those wrists. So it's light. The sun, can't complain about the sunshine, but shining right in through this window. Back in the other direction. Good, let's tap toes and then heels. Toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels. That's tricky. We're going to take one leg, swing it forwards and backwards, nice and slowly. And let's switch to the other foot. Good, let's take a nice deep breath, big inhale. Reach his hands up, exhale, lower down. Wonderful, let's have a seat. All right, we're gonna work our hands, work our brains. Flash myself. All right, we're gonna work on tapping those fingers a little bit. Let me just adjust this camera slightly. Good. Finger taps. Tapping those fingers to our thumb. Nice and easy. one at a time. Good. Hopefully this feels easy by now. And let's try every other finger. So index finger and ring finger. Just those two. Good. And then try the other two. So middle finger and your little finger, just those two. Great. Let's start that left hand from your index finger. And your right hand now is going to join in from your little finger. I had to restart. Good. So they're moving, your fingers are moving in opposing directions. Good. Maybe this is starting to feel easier. I've done it quite a few times. Let's switch to the other side. So left hand, oh, sorry, it's my right hand. I'm going to start with my index finger. And then left hand starts with little finger at the same time. It's hard. Don't be discouraged if you have to start over. Good. Excellent. Ooh. It's hard. It's tricky. Great. Squeeze those hands together. Big fists. Stretch his fingers out. Squeeze and stretch. Squeeze and stretch. Squeeze and stretch. Good. Let's do our Incy Wincy spider. Do you remember this one? We have an L shape. And then we have an L shape that's kind of upside down. And we make a rectangle. And then we pretend that we are the Incy Wincy spider. Up. We pivot our index finger and thumb. And it's like they're climbing up. And let's switch. So now we do middle finger. Oops. And then our ring finger. Oops. And then our little finger. Let's start from the beginning and we'll do 2 on each. So we'll go 1, 2, change fingers, 1, 2, change fingers, 1, 2. So start with those, with that rectangle, 1, 2, middle finger, 1, 2, ring finger, 1, 2, little finger, 1, 2, ring finger, 1, 2, middle finger, 1, 2, index, 1, 2, back up, middle finger, 1, 2, ring finger, 1, 2, little finger, 1, 2, ring finger, 1, 2, middle finger, 1, 2, index, 1, 2. Good, excellent. This time we're going to hold our 2 fists here. I've got a thumb up on one side and 1 finger on this side. And then I'll switch, 2 fingers, switch, 3 fingers, this is hard, switch, 4 fingers, switch, so 4 on this side, 3, I'm not turning my hands very well, 3, 2, 1. Let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. 1, 2. What am I doing? 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. So that's one that needs a little bit more work from me, I think. Let's try that one more time. A thumb, one finger. Start again. One finger and thumb. Thumb and 2 fingers. Thumb and 3. Thumb and 4. Thumb and 3. Thumb 2. Thumb and 1. Thumb and 1. Thumb 2. And then 2 again. 3, 3. 4, 4. 5 fingers. Oh, that's tricky. All right, let's do one that I find easy so that I can boost my mood a little bit here. We're going to hunt the bunny quickly. So we have a gun and we have bunny ears, and we're going to hunt the bunny. I think I've practiced this one so much that this feels very easy, which is really interesting because the first time I did it, it felt very difficult. And now I have not only that muscle memory is what it feels like. My hands feel like they know what to do. And part of it is that, but then also I have a neural pathway. I've made a pathway in my brain that has kind of concreted this, makes this easy. My muscles know what to do. My brain knows what to do. It feels like I'm not even thinking about doing this. I'm just doing it. And that is just from practice, practice, practice. I really can't imagine that the last one that we did is ever going to feel this easy, but you know, that's fine. But I have forged a new neural pathway, and now I can perform this exercise easily, whereas a couple of months ago I found it really hard. So yeah, that's fun. It makes me feel good to say, oh yeah, I learned that and I can do it, even if that last one was more difficult. So yeah, you definitely do improve the more you try these exercises. All right, I guess I talked a lot at the beginning of the class. Let's do one more here and then we'll move on to our balance. This one we haven't done for a little while. We're going to make a circle with our left hand. I'm just going to try and move backwards so you can see my hands a little better. Make a circle. Nice and easy. And the other hand is going to make a square. I can't look at the camera properly. I have to look off into the distance, otherwise I cannot do this. Now, ideally, your hands would be moving at a similar speed, and mine obviously are not. My square is very slow, or my rectangle, as it seems to be, is slow, and my circle is very fast. But they feel different. They probably don't look very different. If you're watching me, it maybe looks like I'm doing the exact same thing with each hand. Let's try it on the other side. So circle with that other hand, and then square with this side is not so easy. So like I said, ideally you'd want the circle and square is going to be created at the same time. It should take the same amount of time to get around each shape, but I think that this doing things at different speeds is kind of the first step to that. It's very difficult. Having a hard time. Good. I've had enough. That's enough of that for me. That one doesn't seem to get any easier either. I think that's because I really focused on that hunt the bunny, and I did that so many times and got really good at it, and then just never gave that amount of energy to all the other exercises. So I know what I have to do. I have to practice more. Let's come up to feet. And we'll work on our balance here. So let's stand up nice and tall. We're remembering that we're close to some sort of support furniture. I have the wall right here. We're going to stand with one foot right in front of the other. Feet together if you can. Weight even between both feet. Standing up nice and tall. Good. Let's let those knees be relaxed, feet nice and relaxed here. Remember, you can take that front foot out to the side a little bit if you need to. You need a bit more stability. I'm going to take one arm up to the ceiling and then the other. Bring those arms out to the side or reach one arm forward, one arm backwards. And the other way. Back to center. Let's relax those arms and we'll switch our feet around. Again, one in front of the other. Feet are relaxed. We're standing up nice and tall, looking up and ahead. One arm to the ceiling. And then the other. Let's bring those arms out to the side. And then we'll aeroplane those arms. So one goes up while the other comes down. Good, relax those arms here, excellent. Let's stay in that heel to toe. I'm just turning, I want to try, there we are. I'm trying to block the window because there's so much sun coming in. So we're staying in that heel to toe position. We're going to take one foot and step forwards and then backwards. So almost like we're performing the that tightrope walk, but we're just doing one foot at a time. Good, let's pause here and let's use the other foot. So moving that other foot now. Still looking up and ahead, tall through your chest. Good. Perfect. Ooh, perfect. And let's relax those feet. Let's have our feet close to each other. We're going to pretend we're in the middle of a clock face. We're going to step our feet. Let me just bring my mat back a little bit here. There we go. Bring our feet forward. 12. And then 1, 2 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then to 10, 11, and 12. And now I'll call out some numbers. Let's try and put our feet in the correct spots. So let's start with 3, and then 7, 11, and 8, then 2, and 6, then 9, and 2, and 8, then 4, then 12, 12 with the other foot, and 11, then 7, and 4, and 7 again, and 10. It's actually quite hard work to choose the numbers. Then 2, and 5, and 7, then 6, and 6 with the other foot. Good. All right, great. It takes a lot of work to actually move your feet to the place that you yourself called out. All right, great. Let's stand on one leg here. We're going to stand on our right leg, nice and relax into that right foot. And let's lift that left knee. It doesn't have to be high. Knee is bent. We can't see from that angle. My knee is bent, my leg is lifted, my foot is off the floor. It doesn't have to be high, just enough that you can circle your ankle. So let's go ahead and do some nice ankle circles here. Relaxing that foot that's on the floor. And circle in the other direction too. Good. And relax that foot, and let's switch to the other side. Lift that foot and we'll circle that ankle. Good. Back in the other direction. And let's place that foot on the floor. Great. We're going to stand with our feet about hip width apart here. We'll lift our hands up into a Y shape and then step on the right foot, lift the left and hold like this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then onto the left foot, raise the right for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're going to do a little bit more work on one foot here. Again, we'll start with our right leg. So we want to be nice and relaxed on that right foot. Toes are really pressing into the floor, nice and spread out. Let's lift that left foot up off the ground. And we'll hold here, nice and relaxed, soft knee. Close enough to hold onto the wall of the chair if you need to. And once you're comfortable here and you have that support furniture within arm's reach, let's see if we can close our eyes. Just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes again. Good. Stay on one foot. We're going to lift one arm forwards. And then we'll use the second arm, but remember that one's optional. If you're holding on, keep holding on. Take the second hand up if you can. Arms to the ceiling. Arms out to the side. Arms forwards. To the ceiling. Out to the side. Good. Relax those feet. Let's switch onto the left foot now. Again, same thing. Nice and relaxed on that left foot. Little bend in your knee. Let's raise the right. Stand up nice and tall. Look up and ahead. When you're comfortable here, let's close our eyes. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. I took some concentration to not hold on the whole time there. That was tricky. Keep yourself on one foot here, and again we'll move our arms. So one arm to the ceiling. The other one, if you can, arms out to the side and arms to the front. To the ceiling, to the side, to the front, to the ceiling, to the side, to the front. And relax. Good. Place those feet on the floor. Excellent work, everybody. We are going to stretch a little here. Let's step 1 foot forward, bend that front knee, back heel touching the floor. Let's lift that arm straight up to the ceiling and hold here. 5, 4, 3. No, we don't want to count down from 5. I don't know why I did that. We're going to hold it for longer. You can ignore that counting. Let's stay here. We want to stretch for more than 5 seconds, for sure. Reach up to the ceiling, take some deep breaths. Good, relax that arm. Let's switch to the other side. Step that foot forward, bend that front knee back, heel on the floor, standing up tall. Let's stretch one arm to the ceiling and hold. And relax and stand up. Excellent. Let's take our arms behind us, reach for the back of the room. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, wrap those arms around yourself. Nice tight squeeze. Give yourself a pat on the back. Thanks, everybody. This was a fun class. Happy to have had you attending all 12 weeks of this class. Please think about leaving some feedback, whether you email it or send it in the anonymous link that you see on the Friday email. I would love to hear from you. Have a great week. No online classes next week. As a reminder, I will see you the week after. Bye for now.
Bye, Hannah. Thanks.
You're welcome. See you.